The Signal controversy continues, and the Trump administration keeps digging themselves into a bigger hole, for lack of a better term. So, Attorney General Pam Bondi is not really releasing pertinent information into what's going on here, but I will say this. Listen to what Pam Bondi had to say on Fox News yesterday about the Signal chat controversy, and she wants to bring up everything else but this actual very serious incident that took place where clearly classified information was exposed to a journalist. Have a listen to this pathetic attorney general who is so partisan it is pathetic in Pam Bondi.
The Signals chat controversy that's going on. Is DOJ involved at this point? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, first, it was sensitive information, not classified, and inadvertently released. And what we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission. Our world is now safer because of that mission. We're not going to comment any further on that. If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach a bit. Talk about the classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to. This was not classified information, and we are very pleased with the results of that operation and that the entire world is safer because of it.
Okay, let's answer that. Let's talk about that, Miss Blonde Bimbo Attorney General. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton, shall we? Since you brought it up, you idiot. The Justice Department did investigate Hillary Clinton and her handling of the classified information. They did investigate Joe Biden's handling of classified information. Defense officials say Hegseth likely shared classified info on Signal. The DOJ has to investigate this as well. The Hillary Clinton stuff and the Joe Biden stuff has already been investigated. Let's investigate this. Let's see what exactly happened. Now, I think we all know what happened here. I'll get to that in a moment. It's very obvious what happened here. But Alina Habba, who was Donald Trump's loser attorney, who once admitted that she'd rather be good looking than smart, she made another appearance on Fox News yesterday, and she called it a hoax. Yes, that's right. Somebody in Donald Trump's administration called this a hoax. Now, Donald Trump himself called it a witch hunt. That's a famous word that he uses. But listen to Habba and the way she characterized this on right-wing propaganda Fox Noise.
And that is really the sum of it. You want to talk to me about Doge. You want to talk to me about what's happening with this Signal nonsense, where they're communicating high-level people. Maybe a mistake was made, but at the same time, I'll tell you one thing. There was high-side communications that were proper, that were done correctly, and nobody here got hurt, A. B, they were allowed to do it because there was no classified information. But you know what this is, Sean? It's the same thing we've been talking about for 4 years. It's a hoax. It's a distraction. It's the same thing they did when they said Biden had no cognitive decline, absolute garbage. And they're going to continue to do it in this administration. Why? Because we're winning. Because we're winning and we're successful, and we're going to keep hitting hard for the American people.
You're winning and you're successful, and you're going to keep hitting hard for the American people. Really? Well, would you consider it winning that gas prices are up, inflation is up around the country? Would you consider it winning that the biggest tax breaks for the top 1% continue? Would you consider it winning that a bunch of innocent people, some of them are brave men and women who have served, are losing their jobs throughout the country? Would you consider it winning that our brave men and women's lives were at risk because of this Signal chat where you have an idiot that decided to put this journalist in the chat, whether he knew or not? I would assume he didn't know. You want to talk about a blunder, but they're calling it a nothing burger and a hoax. This is not a hoax. This is not a distraction. And heads need to roll. And you guys for years were complaining about Hillary Clinton's emails. You guys still talk about it to this very day. Why is this not a big deal? You're talking about the artillery that was used, the timing of when this attack was going to happen, literally 30 minutes before the attack. And you don't think this was a big deal? You idiots. See, this is the way the right-wing media is covering this story. And listen to the way Jesse Waters characterized this Signal stuff and said it's really not a big story because there's no sex involved and there's no video. I'm not kidding. These are his own words. Have a listen to this.
Well, this is like Trump throws 20 touchdowns in a row and he finally throws a pick six. And that's what everybody wants to talk about. And the only way you get people to stop talking about it is you throw another touchdown. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like, but he's got to throw another touchdown, and he's got to throw it fast. No one outside of D.C. and in the news business really cares about this story. Mm-hmm. There's no video. There's no sex. There's no fraud. No one even knows what a Houthi is. People know who bin Laden is. People know what ISIS is. No one knows what a Houthi is.
So because there's no sex involved here, it shouldn't be spoken about. Well, it's interesting because Jesse Waters is the same guy who punctured the tires of a man who was sleeping with his woman. Maybe we should talk about that every day. Or maybe we should talk about the fact that Donald Trump raw dogged a porn star 2 weeks after Barron was born. If you want to talk about sex scandals, I got plenty of them. I absolutely have plenty of them that we can talk about if that's something you want to do. Listen, the bottom line here, and we know this 150%, is that Waltz is the guy who somehow mistakenly put this journalist in this chat because they were speaking. We also know based on his Venmo. No, not Matt Gaetz's Venmo. We're actually talking about somebody else. We know about Waltz's Venmo that he had a number of journalists in there. Waltz is the guy that is responsible for this. He's the one who put this journalist in there. He's the one who should lose his job. Let's let the DOJ investigate this, just like they investigated Hillary Clinton, just like they investigated Joe Biden and found no criminal wrongdoing. Let's go ahead and let's look at this investigation and let's see what they come up with. This is not a hoax. This is not a distraction. Our brave men and women's lives are on the line when this type of information gets released that is highly classified. And if the argument is it wasn't highly classified, then it should have been classified. And if it should have been classified and it wasn't classified, then guess who we hold to account? Yes, none other than the woman abuser himself, Pete Hegseth. Oh, Brian, why are you calling him a woman abuser? Well, because his mother called him that. So it's either on 100% Pete Hegseth, Waltz, or both. Both need to go.